No, is that your purpose?
Wouldn't you be mad though if you woke up from the Matrix? Like someone's like, "You're the one." It's like, bro,
Why though? Why though?
Dude, I paid taxes.
I was having a good time before.
I was so happy not knowing that I was in the Matrix.
Yeah, and someone's like, "But it's not real." I'm like, it was pretty real before.
That's why in the
Thank
first.
you for the enlightenment.
And someone's like, "This is real. This is what's better." It's like, bro,
Is
you're
it better though?
delusion.
That's what that one guy, like the first
Yeah.
Matrix movie. There's that one guy that trades like the pill that he took. Like, he trades his realization that he lives in the Matrix to Agent Smith so that he can go back into the Matrix. And he's all like, I don't want to be. And he's like, I don't want to be. He says he wants to be someone like famous or important.
Yeah.
And he's like just chewing on this like medium rare steak in it, and it's a pretty iconic shot.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
I really remember. I don't remember the dude's name.
Cypher.
No, it's not.
Is it Cypher?
Oh.
Okay, I wanted to say Cypher, but I didn't want to be wrong. But yeah, he looks like Patrick. He's like kind of bald, and he's got like the. You just need to shave the handlebar in there, and then you are Cypher.
Oh wait, yeah.
Halloween costume.
Yeah.
And then actually could be like
really
the
good.
Matrix.
Yeah, like really good, like
Maybe you'll wake
obscure
us up.
character.
Wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
We could all be Matrix characters.
Wake
That'd
up.
be a really cool, because they're making Matrix 4. That'd be
Are
really
they?
cool. Yeah, they fucking are.
We
With
should
Keanu.
do a Matrix promo for the show.
We should.
You did that Matrix
A little
move
bit,
in
yeah.
the-
Yeah, at the end
Oh,
of the
yeah,
video.
yeah.
The Matrix is great. It really permeated the fucking
The-
general sphere. I don't know words.
Of what? Of what? Like the movie or like?
Just like it permeated pop culture, because if you
Oh, yeah.
talk about the Matrix, and it came out in what, like 1999, like
Yeah.
DVDs were like the flashiest thing,
Like,
and
it's
like
so,
the internet was just like
it's so
just
technophobic.
getting fucking started.
It really is.
When the Matrix came
Yeah,
out, I
and
thought
it's great. Like,
Yeah.
it's still applicable to the shit that we're going through now, and I think that's probably why they're trying to do a fourth one.
Yeah, that's also because like I think with technology, it was such a big boom, and it started off so strong, and then it just kept on going. Like,
Technology's nuts.
like the boom itself. Like, if you think about like the Industrial Revolution, for example, like that was such a major turning point in
Pig iron.
history.
Huge. In the
And
industrial
100 years
revolution.
later, from that revolution, 100 years later, we have the technology revolution. Like the technological
We're still going
revolution.
through it.
We're still going through it. We don't even know how to handle what we have.
there's sex robots.
Well, and that's like the best. Obviously, the minute they made the internet, they had porn on it. Like, it's where that's where we go. We like it. Like, it's what we want. It's our only goal is to fuck.
If I can get my sex robot like to look like hentai, like anime.
You could.
Oh, don't be.
You could.
I
I've
know you
seen
could,
things like
but
Let me
that.
show you.
Just don't.
I have it on back order.
Like, why would you want? Never mind. Let's just
No, continue.
Why would you want to like physically have sex with like a two-dimensional graphic representation of a woman, and then turn
I
it
have a
into
point. I have a point though.
turn it into like a three-dimensional thing?
Because it's art.
It's art. Oh, sure, but also think of like the men who want that. Who don't want a woman. They want a robot. They don't want like affection or love. They just want sex. And imagine the stat. Like, I think that would a lot of shitty men would not do shitty things because they would have a robot to do those shitty things too.
So the solution is
I'd
just
be-
to give
be so
everyone a
funny
wet hole to fuck,
If Sasha was
Yeah.
working for the robot.
and not to help.
Like an sentient, like a not sentient. They don't have any feel. Like they.
These people need classes.
But that's the thing.
They
It's
need
like
to understand that people have
They
feelings.
have classes. They probably understand that. And they don't care.
It needs to be mandatory.
But they, like, yeah, sure, but like
A
they
feeling
don't care.
class.
yeah.
Why?
Fucking
If they
empathy.
empathy does like
There
empathy
was
is something that not everybody has.
There was a feeling class
We
in
need
high
it-
school.
we
It's
need
called
You can't be
Intros.
taught.
We need it.
Easier to be. It's not easy.
I want to say I don't get it because I do understand it. What I'm saying is that I don't think that it's a healthy reaction to that mentality. I don't think that just giving everyone a place to dump is a good thing. Okay.
I think why not though? Like they could dump in their own privacy of their own
They could dump
privacy.
in their
Everybody has a bathroom. conversation. Everybody can have a sex robot that they can fucking strangle.
I just don't want the sex robot to be like, if they
And if
start
they-
doing AI, then
well, yeah.
I would stop.
Well, no, but even
Do you know what I
then,
mean? Like, if it started talking to me, I would stop.
And that's why
a
Westworld
completely different
exists.
thing.
Yeah, because then the sex robot, that's weird to me.
And
but
that's
the
why,
sex
like, you
robot has
have
to
to
be like
watch
not
Westworld.
real, like my pillow. My pillows are great. Do you see a picture?
no, but that's the
Yes.
thing is like it would be like your pillow.
I actually have my master's. It's good.
It's an argument. Sorry.
Oh, so on the spectrum, Kevin, where between a fleshlight and a sex doll is it not okay?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not okay. I'm saying the sort of. Oh, maybe I'm saying it's not okay. I think fleshlights are fine. You gave me too much of an encouraging thumbs up, like you have one or several.
Ready
You're
to
like,
go.
yes.
Custom.
Lucky for you. Send me your measurements.
I'm 100% for custom recreated genitalia of like your significant other. Like I would totally make a mold of my dick for someone that loves me, or even people that don't love me.
Do small mold.
Saving the environment, one drop of urethane at a time. But okay, yeah, I guess on the spectrum, all the way up to, I think sex dolls are fine if they look like people. If you're gonna make a sex doll, it should be a realistic looking person. I am uncomfortable with the idea of a anime or hentai styled object that you just get to abuse, because that's the thing.
Oh, it's
that,
taking away like the
Oh,
humanity
you're
away
taking
from,
it's
like,
taking away from
That's the thing that
art.
scares me.
Yeah, I can see
Oh,
that. And that's
I
why
see.
you could like, and that's
Yeah.
why I agree with
Like
where
I
you're
was
coming
kidding,
from.
but if someone had a sex doll that looked like Winry, that would be fucked up. I get what you mean.
And like that would have like,
Right.
and that's the thing is like I can see where you're coming from, like with like teaching
You know who
empathy
Winry
in
is?
classes and like being a more sympathetic, empathetic
I think
culture.
that's something that we need to teach in fucking schools.
But for sure,
we
and,
do.
like,
It's called the change rooms.
It
no.
might be different now
Joking
because
earlier, but no.
it might be
Not
different
funny.
now because like I went through public education well over a decade ago now. So it's just like when I went through, there was a health class and there was like it just gave us sort of like the bare bones scientific explanation
and just
of
like
sex.
what could go wrong.
And what could go wrong and like
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff like that, and they're all like use condoms because it's safe.
Mhm.
But it's like what I really wanted was just to like, because it's not just sex, it's like you're involving yourself with someone else's life.
Yeah.
And it's like it's got emotions and feelings, and you need to learn so much more, especially when you're young, because it's like anything can turn into a relationship.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you're an adult, we know how to compartmentalize, and you can just have sort of like casual flings or like just sexual relationships and stuff like that. But it's hard to develop that boundary if you don't even know that it's a boundary or like a possibility.
Yeah.
Like when I was growing up, I assumed that it was literally two people fall in love and then have sex. Like falling in love was step one, and like that's the
a
most
common little kid. That's like a common young person. thought,
yeah,
I think,
and it's
though.
wrong.
It is wrong.
It's so
But
wrong.
it's really like shaking to like learn that. I think it's
Yeah.
like like it's like, oh, you don't have to be in love. Oh, okay. Like
I learned
Yeah.
it way too late.
yeah, me too. I was like, oh, I fucked this up. Like,
Yeah.
I was taking this way too seriously.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is like what we need more education focus in that area to get everyone on the same page and have a healthier
It should-
relationship with sex. And
It
with
should
each
be
other.
it shouldn't be like sex ed. It should be like life and sex, like
Yeah.
like life and sex ed.
Is it
Like,
like communication with
like
people? How people like
Yeah.
act with one another?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
interpersonal
Yeah, I get
relationships
Yeah.
and something.
People
like
don't know
shit
how to
like that.
communicate.
No, for
like,
sure.
Probably the majority of their lives. Just work in an office for like a day
Mm-hmm.
and find out how many passive aggressive relationships
God.
there are.
Oh my god, yeah, or like
Yeah, just temp as a receptionist or
it's amazing.
and you just get to see the psychosis that people go through every day, like voluntarily. They don't have to hate each other, but they like go
They're
out of their
bored.
way to do it.
There's nothing else to do but like
I
cause
work in an
drama,
office, so
sips
like
and tea,
yeah,
like
and then complain about the person before you not using the tea dispenser correctly.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe they brewed coffee in the tea Keurig. Oh my god, Sarah's such a
This is
bitch.
so funny.
That's why, like, with people, I like to be as independent as I can be.
Same.
Because I don't want to be, I don't ever want to
Codependent?
have, not codependent, I don't mind if people help out, but, like, if I can be just as independent as I want to be
Yeah.
at work or in real life, I don't need to answer to anyone.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
100%.
You know what I mean? So, like, if I'm, like,
Sounds like more like a threat than a statement.
No, but
I don't need to answer to any of you.
so, like, at
you
work,
don't have to.
at work, my like chefs, if I'm working by myself in the back with like another person, they don't have to watch me.
They
That
leave
is
you
it.
alone.
Yeah, they leave me alone.
You've proved that
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Through your work ethic
Yeah.
That's
and
like-
through
I get left alone
They leave me alone if they're like, hey, when's this gonna be done? I'm just like, it's gonna get done, and then like I like get it done, right?
Yeah.
Because like they trust my judgment, they trust.
They
that's
know
why-
that you
that's how-
have good time management.
Yeah.
And you're a good worker.
And I think that doesn't like that kitchen vibe that I have, and that's also like a shelter vibe. But like that kitchen shelter vibe is like I don't know how to bring that into real life because I like it's at shows, and if I can tell when I like go to someone, I'm like, hey, you're seventh, right after this guy, okay? And then I'll walk away. I can see in their face that they're like, why didn't he say hi to me? Like I'm doing something. I'm at
You're
work.
busy.
Like
Yeah.
I'm
Here's
not
the information that you need.
Yeah.
Now I'm gone.
But they
On to the
they'll
next
get
thing.
to know that though.
and
when
that's
they come out.
that's like the shelter, right? Like that's like the kitchen. Like in the kitchen, if someone's like, "Hey, get me two fluid ounces of red wine demi," I'm like, boom, boom. Like I don't ask, why?
Yeah, no, you
How was
just
your day?
How was
You're
your
told,
weekend?
How was your weekend? It's
What'd
not
you-
that.
What'd you do last
Yeah,
night?
it's like we need it. Go hurry up. Like if someone's like, "Go in the back, go get me romaine," I just go in the back. I'm not like, "Oh, we have romaine. There's romaine in the cooler."
Why do you need to get romaine?
I already cut the romaine. Like I just go grab the romaine, then I find out why we need it later, right? Because it's not a big deal.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's,
it
it
Yeah.
doesn't influence the act.
And that's like
Someone told you to complete a task. You're gonna complete
do
the
it,
task.
and then you're gonna like be like, why?
No, I wouldn't
and
even-
then if it comes up, if you find out why, then you find out. But even then, if you
But
don't
I
know.
usually don't have to ask why because I see it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
we want more romaine because this romaine went bad and we need more. Or like, oh, we want more like fresh romaine because that romaine has vinegar in it. Blah
Yeah.
blah. Like
Yeah.
something
Or,
like that,
or
right?
Kyle dropped a bunch of lettuce
Fucking
on the
Kyle.
fucking ground. Fuck.
But another thing is like in the shelter, it was like that too. Like if someone was like, just like, hey, that's my pillow. Like, oh, that's your pillow. Like, or you didn't have to ask like how their day was or how like they were doing because you knew how they were doing. You wouldn't be like, oh, what's outside? It's like that's where we live. What do you mean? Like, oh, why is everyone by the bus stop? Because that's our house. What do you mean? There would be dumb fucking questions. And in the morning, like, oh, how'd you sleep? Bad. I'm in the shelter. What the fuck's wrong with
It's
you?
all bad.
Yeah, like no one would be like, oh, these eggs are dry. I'm like, yeah, buddy, they're free. Like a lot of times kids would get made fun of if they were complaining about stuff.
Yeah.
Like other kids would put them in a check. Like I
Yeah.
remember this one kid was like, why are these eggs so runny? And then one kid was like, why are you always homeless? And then
Like every day I see you and you're just homeless. How
Yeah.
come you haven't changed that yet?
yeah, or like
That's
we'd
really
be
fun.
inside. We'd be inside like the
Homeless
sleeping
kids don't give a fuck.
space. And some kid would be like, man, it's so cold in here. And then someone would be like, man, it's so cold outside. This is crazy. And then they'd be like, okay.
Just like
They'd shut the
check
fuck
your
up.
situation.
Yeah.
Check your.
I love how kids in shelters and like homeless people are keeping other homeless kids in check. You're too privileged.
Check your privilege.
And yeah, they're just happy to be there. That's crazy.
I don't think they're happy to be
I
there,
don't
but
think
they're
they're
just sick
happy.
of hearing like,
That's probably that's
I think they're like-
not a good way to
Like,
phrase
we
that.
know, we get it. We're cold, we're hungry, we're tired, we're homeless.
That's
Yeah.
it. They get it. They're over it.
like there'd be some kids who'd like threaten the building, like, oh, I'm gonna light this place on fire. This gonna be like, if you light my only place I can sleep, I will fucking kill you. Because I'll be outside. That's all I have to do that day. No job, no home, no wife. Just kill you. That is it.
Yeah.
And I'll find you because like you have fire on
We live
on you.
together. We live outside together.
You'll probably be in the area, and so
You
will
can't
I.
get that far on foot.
Yeah. Like if I'm in the building when it goes up, I know you're close.
I will fuck you.
I actually got
Behind you.
I almost got robbed in the shelter once. It was so stupid. Like this kid, he was like, I was in the lineup to get into the shelter, and like this kid behind me, he like taps on my shoulder. He's like, and like I look back, and this fucking kid, he has a face mask on. like a ski mask, right? And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like,
Yeah.
just standing in line. I'm like, it's summer.
You're like, "Ah."
And then I see his teeth, and I'm like, I know you, Jason. And then he's like, don't say my name. I'm like, fuck. And then he pulls up the knife, he puts it to my throat, and I'm like, what do you do? And he's like, give me your stuff. I'm like, we're both homeless? You know I don't have stuff. And then he's like, give me your money. I'm like, again, we're both homeless. You know I don't have money. And he's like, okay. And then he takes off the mask and then goes in the back of the line. And then I'm like, what the fuck?
You should have robbed him for his knife.
I should have. It was a butter knife. And then I went.
No.
No. That'd be ridiculous.
It was actually a knife.
It was a shitty knife, but it was a knife.
Okay.
A
And
knife is a knife, Kevin.
But a
and-
butter knife.
It would hurt because you'd have to get it harder.
I went.
Like, I wouldn't say it wouldn't hurt. Like, it's
A
definitely
butter knife?
Like, you could
You
hurt
could
someone.
stab with like
You
a
could-
dull knife.
You could hurt someone with a butter knife. Go for the eyes.
Yeah, you can hurt someone with anything.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, I don't love you, you'd be like, oh.
Oh my god, that would tear me apart.
It literally changes people's lives.
Literally shooketh.
Okay, but so it was a less than admirable life.
That I think that was a Freudian
There's
slip.
some.
No, it definitely was.
I'm learning stuff about my team more and more as the time progresses.
Team?
Yeah, we're a team.
You're a team! Go team! Yay!
Yeah.
We're the best. Okay.
Don't
so
go that far.
Okay. Really?
Not there yet.
You think there are people better than us?
Yeah.
Who do we need to attack with a butter knife? Say the name, he might not beep it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No, I'll beep anything we want. I actually have really fun time beeping shit.
Yeah.
I just sound so dumb. I was like,
No, I don't think anybody's better than us. I
I
just
don't-
think that
no,
we're
of
not
course
the best.
not.
Yet we will be.
What a ridiculous
Stay
statement
tuned.
to make. What a ridiculous statement to make.
This is just a little
That's what
too,
we're here.
too
That's what-
quick. Too quick on the
I had that
toes.
problem when I first started out, like when me and Patrick would make video, and like it'd be this stupid little like sketch. It had bad audio, bad footage, bad acting. Like it was just terrible all around, bad editing.
So like,
My videos now.
yeah, what do you have now?
And like I would see
I
them,
don't know,
I'm like, why am I not famous right now? And all I did was like post the YouTube link on Facebook. Like that's all I did. I wouldn't understand. I'm like, why is this not fucking
Why
working
doesn't
out?
it gain any traction?
Yeah.
Why isn't Hollywood beating
Why
down
don't
the
I-
door of the
Yeah,
shelter?
Where are they?
And then now that I make videos, I like put it on Reddit. Like I do more promo and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
then get some traction. And like and now I understand. I'm like, oh, it was me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want a authentic answers, we're a small outfit and we have so much to learn, but we're having fun doing it.
Yeah.
And we're learning.
Was that fun?
I love
We
learning,
know. We
even
know.
though I don't.
Yeah, we know that we know
Why?
nothing.
You don't what?
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 What were you gonna say?
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
Go to school?
What?
Don't go to school.
I don't know.
No, I love learning even though I don't go to school.
Oh.
We love learning. We hate the.
The system, the
Yeah, the
society
system.
classist system. It's colonialism, and I'm tired of it.
Fuck schools. You
Yeah.
can get all your education from guys on the street named Arturo.
That's how I did it.
And the
Arturo
internet.
and Kevin and Patrick.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't need school.
Go
You-
straight to the source.
You need these street teachers.
Yeah. Who even needs a diploma?
Well, I mean, like I got one, so like
You're doing more than.
I graduated.
You're doing more than me. You're doing. Do you have a diploma? Do you have a
High
piece of
school?
paper?
For high school?
Yeah.
You have a
You
high
didn't
school.
finish
diploma.
high
Yeah.
school?
I have a high school diploma.
I have a
You
high
went to
school
university.
I thought
diploma.
you meant
Finish
like
high
a
school.
degree
No.
from a college.
I'm
Or
on
like a-
academic
or like a
probation
university
right now.
Oh my god.
Like I'm the furthest
I thought
away
you
from a
completed
I have a
degree.
certificate from Dare.
No.
Yeah.
I have a
Did you
I
get a
have my
diploma?
pro serve.
No. Wait, what, from high school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a high school diploma?
Yeah.
You got a high school diploma? Okay.
Oh, you graduated?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
I'm just dumb on my own.
I'm so proud of you. Who knew?
Yeah.
But I don't have anything like beyond that. I mean, like I have a piece
You
of
went to
paper.
university.
I didn't go to university. I went to a tech school. There's like they make clear distinctions between that. They're like you didn't go to university. You went to a tech school.
I did go to firefighting training. I did do that. I did
Yeah,
do
Are
training.
you like a certified firefighter?
Yeah.
Almost, yeah. They had like jobs lined up for me, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah,
What?
but like universities are very stingy about who gets to call themselves a university.
Yeah.
And they're like, unless you're a certain caliber of institution, you don't get to use that word. That's why like Grant Mac was a college for so
Yeah.
long, and now they're still not a university. They're like this
They're a
weird
university.
hybrid university college.
I went to
Yeah,
university
it's like a split
parties.
thing.
Yeah, I went to a frat party once, and that was.
You
wild.
went to university parties?
It was a college.
Yeah, those are wild.
It was a
parties.
trade college.
Those are parties.
Did you go to Nate parties?
No, I went
Is that
to
where you
when-
developed your addiction?
No, that was long before that. But when I
Do you need some help?
I went to these college parties
We don't have
in
anything
Grand
for a
Prairie,
drink.
and it was like a trade college party, and like we partied there. There'd be like Halloween parties and like frat
Oh,
parties,
I
and then
went-
I'd go to the dorms and party there.
Yeah.
This one time, my friend, we decided to do Molly, and then like we each had some, and then my friend was like having a panic attack, and he's like, I think it's heroin. I think it's heroin. I think it's heroin. And then me and my other friend were like, that's okay. And then we started drinking more. I'm like, "It's fine." And then we started drinking more. He's like, it's just so cold. I'm like, yeah, the window's open. It's like Canada. Like you're fucking. It's cold, but he's like, no, it's the heroin. And then
It's the heroin.
we started fucking with them. We'd be like going to like girls. We'd be like, what's wrong with your friend? And then we'd be like, he's autistic. And then there'd be just like my friend like in the corner like, it's heroin. It's heroin. And then I'd be like,
Wow.
That's so fucked up.
it's so funny.
That is really funny.
Because it was just kidding.
Do you think he remembers that night?
I
Yeah.
bug him.
That obviously
You
was
sent
heroin.
him a reminder.
After that, like I always bug him. Like remember the time you thought you did heroin?
It obviously wasn't.
You fucking pussy! Because there I was like just doing like fucking 8 ball a day. I'm like, you fucking bitch!
That's hilarious. That's like the opposite of one time I went to it was like a college party, and it was for, the school was Concordia, which is just like, I don't know, it's just very, it's for babies. It's for babies. It's for young, white, suburban kids that want a more Christian influence in their post-secondary. And they're all so sweet and innocent, and what it was like a Halloween party, and they rented out one of the hangar bays from the aviation museum, and then they just essentially got a couple kegs, and everyone was supposed to wear costumes, and they got like a DJ, and it was just red Solo cups of people like walking around this warehouse, and there was like a photo booth, and like that was it. And I was like, this is one of the lamest parties I've been to, and I am from Sherwood Park. Like it was worse than a barn party, because like at barn parties people get fucked up. Like what happened is like all these kids just came and drank a little bit. Some people probably drank more, but it was like they drank a little bit and then they had their mom pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's just like it's so cute that like people like that can like hang out together.
yeah, I mean like I guess you know what? I'm sure everyone had like a fun time and it was
just
really
wasn't your
wholesome.
group of people.
And I was just like, I'm there.
You need to get fucked up. They don't want to get fucked up.
Well, not only that, it was just like I felt very much like an outsider because I was there. The only reason I was there is because I was dating someone that was that had invited me, and they were like, "We need to go to this party, and it needs to be fantastic." And I was like, "It's not gonna be." But it's so I'm harping on people having like a good wholesome time. I'm like, "Oh, you only had 3 beers." That's really toxic. Yeah, it's really fucking toxic.
Where's the 8 balls?
And like I was there, so I'm not any cooler.
There's 8 balls?
No, there wasn't.
Oh.
That was it. I think a bunch of kids like smoked weed, and then like a bunch of other kids found out about it, and it really felt like high school.
Like really tensed up. The
yeah, they were like,
what the fuck? Are you high right now?
Taylor,
Weed's really bad for you. It's a gateway drug.
Taylor and Tanner and
Cocaine is a
Hunter
gateway drug.
and what's another white person named Kale? Hunter, Tanner, Taylor, and Kale were out back smoking.
Smoking the devil's lettuce.
No, smoking cannabis. They called it cannabis.
Oh, the
Smoking
whole name.
marijuana.
The scientific
Marijuana
classification.
Yeah.
Are you smoking a cannabis cigarette?
Yeah.
Cannabis marijuana cigarette?
So that happened, and then it like permeated throughout the night. And they're like, "Oh my God, there's kids that are high.
They're
here.
high.
Oh, are you high?
I hope they don't eat my face.
Yeah. I hope they don't start just randomly doing crack because
Oh my god, that's a
that's
gateway drug.
That's what happens to people that smoke weed.
It's
Rails.
bad for you.
Rails of
Okay,
weed.
but when you say it's a gateway drug, can you elaborate on that? Because I have a huge.
It's a
thing
gateway
about this.
drug like not towards other drugs, but like let's
Doing
say
drugs to being high.
let's say that you're
More than
someone.
that, yeah, more like that.
Let's say you're someone that needs to smoke weed every day, right? And you need to
No
smoke
one
weed.
needs to smoke
I'm not
weed
on
every day.
antidepressants.
No one
so I'd
needs to
rather
do
smoke
anything
weed
every
all
day.
Every day.
But they do.
Breathe. We need to breathe every
So
day.
they smoke weed every day. They need weed to
Function.
function.
They've tricked themselves into
And
thinking
like
that
they
way.
get like really aggressive if they don't have their hoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
That's
switch
addicts, though.
switch that with crack.
Switch that with cigarettes or coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm just saying. I'm just saying like I don't hate weed. I don't hate like pot. It's really
It's
like
a drug
yeah.
still. Though.
what I hate is the acting like weed is 100% okay. Because like
Yeah.
people die off, people don't die off weed, but they can die off like if someone like
Doing
sells you
something
weed.
stupid.
Yeah, if someone sells you weed and like someone's like you don't have my money, boom, right?
Or, like-
drugs are drugs. Like
Yeah.
You know,
that's
it's
what I
like-
don't like.
You could get
yeah.
sprayed. Like I've known people who've bought weed, like bad weed, that's like was sprayed with something. Like
What was it?
I don't know. Like it might have been like the pesticide that they use,
Nice.
or it was like a chemical. Like I heard that you can get like Febreze. Like people will spray like Febreze on it, and
Yeah.
like if you light it, it's not good. Like obviously.
Dip joints and stuff in like formaldehyde and stuff like that.
Ew.
That's
Formaldehyde.
weird.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that you know
That's the thing that
One
keeps
time.
the
pigs
Oh
alive.
fuck yeah.
well,
Inside
it's
classic.
No, like-
used to preserve
It-
yeah,
bodies
preserve.
after they
Mummies
expire.
were in it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, they put it when you die. They like put your.
So
they
there's
take
all
out your-
kinds of things that can get involved with weed, but like, okay, so I get what you're saying. The thing that bothers you about sort of like the weed persona is that it's more harmful than a lot of people think it is, and it also introduces you to drug culture
Yeah.
and an
It's
exponential
exposure.
exposure
Yeah.
to other drugs.
Yeah.
So like
And
if you
being
never
high.
if you never smoke weed, you probably will not. You will have a more difficult time encountering harsher drugs because you didn't have that first step. Like weed itself doesn't like when you smoke weed and you get high. I don't think there's ever a thought that's occurred to me be like if
Oh,
I
I want
smoke
to smoke
weed,
crack.
I would like
Yeah.
the next
I want to
switch.
do meth.
The
I wanna
next
see
switch
ghosts.
is not like let's do other drugs. It's probably just
Like, can I get
just
higher?
smoke more weed.
Yeah, can I smoke more weed?
and
Oh,
Yeah.
and so like that's sort of like the way the reason why we're trying to separate the language of it being like a gateway drug,
Yeah.
but it is in and of
alcohol is a
itself.
gateway drug.
Alcohol can lead you to
Alcohol is
harsher
100%.
Alcohol
things.
is worse for me
I-
than weed is.
I think alcohol is worse than like
Alcohol
a lot
is
of
worse
things
than
because
weed, I think.
alcohol is like such a thing that people just have. People just have alcohol.
Yeah, and it's so
right?
it's so like
It's-
readily accepted.
It's just like a natural thing.
it's-
Like people
but
will
it's-
wake up in the day like oh you want some bread? We'll have some mimosas.
Yeah,
like, it's such a
yeah, champagne
yeah.
and orange juice in the morning
yeah.
before
or like a Bloody
11.
Mary. Like, and that's I think that's just like it's interesting how people are so ready to like
But here's
pop a drink. And
Here's
then
the
not.
thing. Alcohol worked really hard to permeate as far as it did into the public spectrum.
Yeah.
Like there was
That's true.
prohibition
Yeah.
for a long time. Like it was illegal to even smell like alcohol. Like people would be like calling the police and being like, I think he runs a still in his basement because
Yeah.
he smells like
Like, yeah,
And the
whatever.
thing is,
Moonshine.
the thing is,
Moonshine.
it's an appearance too, because
Yeah.
like alcohol generally doesn't like it distorts you and it makes you look really fucked up, but like everyone else is also fucked up.
Yeah, that's
Do you know
true.
what I mean? And then a lot of times, like
Also
if,
the inhibitions probably.
yeah, and a lot of times like people like if someone's like really fucked up, someone's like, oh, he's just having a good time, he's just drunk. It's like
yeah, it's like, is he having a good time though? Because I
Like-
think he's throwing up blood.
yeah, like there's no reason
But it's
why.
also just so appropriate for like we run a show at a bar and you frequent that show a
Yeah.
lot. That
That's my
bar
comedy.
has so
No
many regulars that are just like stonkingly drunk
yeah,
Like
like,
all day.
all
But that's
the
also,
time.
Like, the
And it's
culture
just-
too, though.
and
like-
it's just fine for them. They're just like, oh, just cut Dave off for an hour. He's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's been drinking since noon. Like, he was here when you guys opened up. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. He spends $1,000 a day here. Like,
Yeah.
they don't give a fuck.
like that, and that's also not legal. They could lose their license. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I'm sure there's ways around it because it's like,
Yeah, and I mean,
all the lines are blurred when it
working
comes
at a
to
bar
like
is
that
also
shit.
like I never realized like it's hard to kind of be the it's hard to use your discretion when you're like
Yeah. Yeah, because everyone drinks differently.
And
it's
exactly, and it's like a different.
If I take 5 shots, and if you take 5 shots, and if you take 5 shots, we're gonna have 3 completely different levels of inebriation after the 5th shot is done. Like, you're probably not gonna feel it.
I think you feel it more now because you're so.
You'd probably be in the alley looking for cocaine if you had 5 shots.
I feel it, but if I have if I have alcohol in my system, I'm going to get cocaine. Like,
yeah, exactly.
The minute, when I like first started like trying to like stay away from coke, like the minute I had like a drink, I like couldn't drink because I would be like, I need it, I want it, I need it bad. I'll be like, I'm so drunk, like I need to sober up. Like, one drink, like,
and like
calm down. But
that's another thing is like alcohol and cocaine work great together from what I've heard.
Yeah.
So it's like if you get too drunk.
And
do a bump.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like, I started
thing,
drinking even more when I was partaking.
Yeah,
because
turns you into a machine.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is with me is like when I was like using, I would use alcohol as a time space so my drugs lasted longer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like use it like, oh, I need to sober. It's like, no, I need to like make this last until it's like 10 a.m. and I can call another guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah, it's like.
Because like drugs for me is like, I was like, I'm still on the clock. You know? Like I need this shit. You know, everyone has a schedule. I have like my 8 ball for till 10 a.m. and then at 10 a.m. when that's gone, I can call another guy and then he gets and I have at least like 100 bag and then I do that 100 bag and then by that time that's done, that guy is there with the next 8 ball and then that 8 ball will coast me until 9 p.m. and then 9 p.m. then I'll call another guy, then that little bit of like a little 100 bag will coast me till 10:30 when he shows up and then I do that. Then I go to bed. Maybe.
And you've only had psychosis twice?
It's probably been a few times. One time I
didn't realize
There's been a few times.
Fuck.
Yeah. You can't ever really get you talking about your drug use and your addiction.
What if this is psychosis?
It is.
I am your psychosis. Your psychosis is having psychosis.
Because I don't think that people really realize how far into it you got. Like if they know that you were a cocaine user or that you were homeless for a bit, they're like, okay, yeah, no, that guy's seen some shit. But it's like if you really get to talk to you, like I think it can actually scare a lot of people. Like you've
seen some real shit.
When
you could do one of those scared straight shows.
When
you definitely could. Can we do that?
We can do a promo.
We
Yeah,
can do a promo where you scare people straight. Off drugs.
I've definitely scared like people giving me like I've had hookers tell me no because I'm too fucked up, and I've had drug dealers like asking me like,
the fact that
should I be selling to you?
Yeah,
that's insane. They
and
want
then,
money.
Yeah.
And like I've had like people just like tell me like other crackheads when I'm walking by, like now sober I am. I'll be walking by a crackhead like I used to see all the time, and he'll look at me like. and then he will make like eye contact with me. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'll go to like the 7-Eleven that I used to like hang out at, and like I'll go inside and like there's a sign at the straws that say not free. I would go there all the time and just like the only thing I would do is like I'd like walk in and I would think in my head that I'm like so quiet and shit, but I'm probably not. I'm probably just like and then I'd like go to the ATM and like I'd like smack it because it was out of order. And I look at the guy and be like, when does this thing get fixed? And then he's like, it's not gonna get fixed tonight. I'm like, dang it. And then like he's
it's
like
always broken.
He's like, do you want anything? And then I do a loop inside the store, like pretending to look for things. And then on my way to like the kind of near the exit, I would just run, grab the straws, and run out. And then like I wouldn't like run out of the vicinity of the 7-Eleven, but like I would just like sit there outside the 7-Eleven, like right outside the sidewalk, and I just put my straws inside. Zip it up, take my time, check my dealer. And then I would just.
You're out of the store. What are you gonna do?
And I would just like
They're
bolt.
gonna come out. People at 7-Eleven are tired of
I'll
the
just
shit that they have to do. No. Could you imagine? My brother works at 7-Eleven, but it's in
Which
St.
one?
Albert. The one in St. Albert. So it's like
It's one
they've
of
been
the
robbed
nice
only
ones.
twice. No, it's not. But like, yeah,
They do have really nice 7-Eleven.
They put up with so much. Yeah, they do. They put up with like a lot. Like the 7-Eleven by my place on 99. Like the people who like just frequent and like just hang out and like yell at the patrons. Like it's really funny.
Late night 7-Eleven can be a pretty good like dinner and
Oh,
show.
The thing I've realized though is like living where I live is like I used to think that like where I lived was like really ghetto and it was like really harsh and like there was things like going on and shit. And then now that I'm like clean, I've realized like I was the thing.
You were the ghetto.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now it's just like way calmer. I don't see much stuff anymore. I'm like, where is all the misfits?
Maybe
I'm like, was it
like
me?
the universe calmed down because you calmed down.
I think that's like I've had more psychosis, but like it's like, it's some of them are dialed back, some of them are like full tilt. Like when I thought it was the mayor of Edmonton, that was like a full tilt like thing, right? And I've had more like I remember this one time I was doing drugs, obviously, and
what else do we do here?
I saw the window and I like pulled it out. I pulled out the screen and like I threw it in the closet and I did a line and I looked outside and I saw like someone. I heard a voice. I heard someone like screaming for help, and I was like, oh. And I thought that I was Spider-Man. I told myself, I was like, I need to save this person. And I climbed out of the window and I went for the electricity line, the power line. I was like trying to grab it and my fingertips were just hitting the safety of it. And I was like, duh. And I kept hearing the scream echoing in my head. And I was like, no, I'm gonna save you. I'm coming.
It's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
And then like, I was like outside the window and like the other window is just right beside it, and like I like grabbed the next wall. I'm like nothing's gonna stop me. And like I went along, and like the people doing cocaine in the living room saw me, and then they were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm saving lives." And then the one like one of my friends like he grabbed me and like